Hello, happy Friday. Thanks for joining me again today. On the agenda today, drakon render, and specifically what I would like to work on is let's just show the terminal. I would like to do a number of things today. So first of all, we need to provide a data type for a valent point so that we can show it. And the valent point needs to take as much space as an action would. So let's maybe kick off with that. So let's remove this because this is what I'm going to implement now. But I'm not sure we do need a distinction between letters and words. So what I'm doing now is I'm going through the documentation again and again and again. And in the set of rules, I'm not sure if you had a chance to read this, but in the set of rules, there is a substantial number of new terms being introduced, like atoms and alpha, beta elements. I need like a mind map to represent this well, because some elements are included, some are excluded, and it just doesn't make complete sense in my head. But I'm taking my time with this. For now, let's just focus on what we started earlier this week, and it is to represent very simple diagrams in the console. Perfect. So we don't need a helper function. We'll just have a full-blown data type for valent points, and also implementation of show or show ASCII. So I hope you have your drink of choice. I'm having coffee today, and yeah, let's write some code. So technically, do we even need a dedicated valent point type? This will only apply to words. So let's do this. And it would be nice to have a type that represents like an amalgamation of valent points and a list of skewer blocks. But the list of skewer blocks needs to be non-empty. But we'll get to that. Can we even have a type like this? Let's see. Looks like we can. So I defined this left and right as either, but I can't remember how to construct either. just lowercase either, or either. Sorry, these are the constructors. So let's do that should be good. Okay, let's deal with these suggestions. Redundant bracket. That's good, but it doesn't change what we would display. So instead, let's provide an implementation of a show for a valent point. Because right now we have a V. That condition will change. Let's see if I can provide a data type like this. Okay, doesn't matter. So I don't want to provide or shoehorn the either type that we use here into this ASCII show class type, or type class, sorry. So I'll just do a once-off ASCII show just for this type. So this. Oh, sorry. Oh. It doesn't matter if I do. Okay. You know what? Let's forget about this. Let's just provide an instance of ASCII show to valent points. This should be fine. Okay. So now I can change the logic slightly here in the if else. Oh, that is unfortunate because the left arm of the fork is called left, and either is left is also it's just confusing. We'll have to use some other type than either or either. once we have an ASCII show of this type, we can just do ASCII show left, ASCII show right. Okay. ASCII show here, right? It should build, but it shouldn't work. That's weird. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Oh. First we need to get the value. Yeah, from left. No, sorry, forgot what I said 2 minutes ago. Oh, so I'm using it wrong. Or am I? And an offset. And let's use a trick that I've just read yesterday in Effective Haskell. And this is type holes. Let's see if this is going to come to my rescue. Oh my goodness. Found a hole that's supposed to be of type bool. Okay, that's, well, of course. Oh, perfect. So, I was just missing a module. Oh, and now, since I have from left, well, let's just leave a comment. Since this is left, and there's a lot of assumptions, let's just do this, and that should work. Because what I was passing in here is a partially applied function from left, where I wasn't giving it a default value. And it was also incorrectly applied. The default value should go first, then the either, and then the result. No, correct. We don't need from left. And you know what? It's not too bad. Now, instead of just returning a space, let's return a V. That should probably not print anything. Perfect. But at least I can now say here, implement something like an action. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. I'll be back in a minute. All right, I'm back. Let's see where we stopped. Oh yeah, the ASCII representation of this. The first argument doesn't really matter because it's just the valent point type. It doesn't carry any values. So we'll need something like an action. But instead of the word action, oh, this is actually very nice. The implementation of the valent point should be very straightforward. And let's just call it V. Can reduce. Now, let's get rid of this. Okay, the offset was 1. We need to work on these offsets, but that's fine. In our case, both of these offsets should be 0. And also, we can remove one line here and one line below, just to make it a little bit more presentable and consistent. Perfect. And now we can remove one line from here. Perfect. So we now have 2 lines, and 3 because we have one connector. Now let's worry about these things. Yeah, this is pretty confusing. Is left R. And now we'll have to have an offset of, let's go with something ridiculous, not to overlap the skewer we've just inserted. Oh yeah, that's the beauty of working with terminal. It's kind of difficult to print. But I guess that is fine. It doesn't work as I wanted it to work. But this gives me, yeah, I was never to implement like a full drakon diagrams, fully functional in terminal. I just wanted to experiment with data types. But now that we do have a pretty viable set of types to represent the diagram, the sample word, etc., I believe we can go back to slotting these parts back into the main backup and to slowly replace our former types. I'll have to think about how to do that. But at the moment, I think we should be pretty okay. Let's just remove this. So that we have a nice diagram to finish the video with. And I think we'll be wrapping it up for today shortly. Yeah, I think that week-long detour that we took this week to define these more general, higher-level data types like skewer block and terminator and the diagram block really paid off, and we can start slotting them into all the design. So let's summarize. This week, I spent basically the whole week trying to come up with these more general types to represent our icons a little bit better. And these are still called icons according to the documentation, but now we've introduced terms like terminator, skewer block, and all sorts of letters and words, which are for now represented as just one type, skewer block. And that gives us enough information to go back to the old implementation, slot these new types in, and rethink how we do layout. Because now I know that using drakon, it's impossible to do connections that I previously assumed were possible. Like, for example, I assumed that you could link, for example, this, let's go page width, that you could link, for example, this action, and you could lead it to go back here and link with this skewer just before the take a seat action. It is impossible using the drakon terms. Now I know that. So with these new types, there will come a new layout engine. And that should happen sometime next week. I don't necessarily care about reading and serializing, deserializing these new types. What I think would make most sense for next week is to maybe even continue using this main HS file, but to instead of output the results to the terminal, render the results as SVG and output them to the file. And with these offsets that we've defined for, albeit ASCII show, with these offsets we can shift icons around. Sorry, I didn't mean to open that. We can shift icons around. And with SVG format and vectors, it should be much easier than with the terminal. Okay, so I'm optimistic for the next week. I think the detour / experiment I took this week did pay off. I'll just try to PR this in such a way that it doesn't break the current application. And yeah, looking forward to next week where we'll try to replace the terminal rendering with SVG rendering to a file. And that should be pretty exciting. Right, having said that, I wish everybody a fantastic Friday. Thanks for sticking with me, and yeah, enjoy your weekend ahead and see you next week. Bye.